This is a Sealine SC38. It's a 2009 model build for a 2010 launch date, and we're here to show you all the features and benefits this boat has to offer. It's a great layout and space. Another great example from Sealine, offering a semi-hard top which you can retract fully, giving you the open feel as well as an enclosed feel. So we're going to show you all the features and benefits this has to offer right now, so stay tuned. Before you get started, check out our Parker Adams Superstore with loads of main brands for upgrading your boat, such as Raymarine, Garmin and Fusion. Check it out after this video. I'm Jonathan Parker from Parker Adams Boat Sales, and we're showing you this Sealine SC38 from our very own pontoon on the middle of the Hamble River on Hamble on the south coast of England. Now, we keep our boats here for sale. At the moment you can see we've got a lovely Broom 430 here as well, which we're just looking after. We're about to take it out for a drone run, so we're just running the engines up. But we're here to show you now this SC38. Now the SC38, as you can see, has this fantastic hardtop roof, but it also has a soft top built in, which we'll show you in a minute. But it gives you this fantastic drivability all year round. And it's late November now. It's getting very cold. You might be able to see the breath on me. So it's quite cold, hence I've got a fleece on. But I've got the heating on there at the moment. It's also got a generator which I've got running as well on here, so we can show you the generator running, the heating running. It also has air conditioning as well in the summer months, when we get the opposite of what we've got now, when it gets really hot. But let me just show you, because it's a lovely looking boat as well. As you come down, I'll show you some of the features. One of them actually are these. Do you see these? These are all little lights, and they light up the deck, and you can see the deck is all laid to teak all the way around the sides and a bit on the top, so non-slip, really good, and looks really pretty as well. It's a bit wet at the moment, but when it dries off it looks really pretty. As you come down, you can start to see the hardtop, and you can see there's these slight canvas infills. I tend to leave these on permanently, but in the hot summer months you can open it all up, and the canvas round the back. Diesel heating's running at the moment, as you can see. And we've got the generator running as well, which comes out the back. I'm not quite sure why we've parked it like this, because you have to sort of step over. But it does show you actually how easy it is to get on and off the boat, because it's a slight stick out on the bathing platform, so you can actually get onto this very nicely laid to teak platform. Now, if we step on, right. But as you can see, it's all laid to teak all through the cockpit and all around the side decks. Let me just show you up the side deck first. Sorry, Andrew. But you can see it's very easy to get up, and because it's got the hard top, you get a rail all the way along, so it's very easy to get around this boat. And we walk all the way along, and again this will all be lit up at night as well. There's also fitment for a bow cushion on the front here, as you can see. And then we're up into the anchor, and Sealine always hide the anchor so it doesn't stick out from the front. And one of the benefits of that is actually it doesn't add to the length of the boat, which anchors generally do. But also, if anything brushes up or you bump into anything, you haven't got a Sharpie bit stuck out. So it's quite a nice design. There's a nice locker in there as well, nice size. It also has a wash down facility, so you can rinse the anchor as it comes in, so it doesn't deposit salt into here, and that will eventually corrode the anchor chain quite heavily. And then we've got our controls up and down as we would here, as well as we can do it at the helm. So quite a nice feature. We'll walk back around the other way, and we can see again the lights all the way around, and you can get to see a bit of the hardtop as well. So it's a hard roof, but it's a canvas top. It's in pretty good shape. Excuse me, just got a tickle in my throat today, so if I cough a couple of times I'll try not to let it annoy you too much. There's a radar, digital radar, and it also has satellite TV, as you can see, and there is also a rear camera fitted as well. Quite a nice feature that Sealine have done for a while actually is the covers themselves, they fold up into this hatch. So you release this and you can roll them up into there, so you don't have to worry about where you're going to put them. It's quite a nice feature. Bathing ladder. There's a little hole here. Is actually for a passerelle, believe it or not. So it's a manual passerelle. So if it is a design for a med boat, and this did spend time in the med. The current owner bought it over, imported it into the UK properly, paid the VAT, and then it's now been here in his ownership for the last few years. But it did have a passerelle. He never uses it. You don't really use them in the UK, but he does have it in case this is a boat you want to take back out to the med, because it does have the med spec with the air conditioning as well as the heating, the generator. It's got everything you need. Now coming into here, there's a grill. Now this isn't a piece of toast, which I thought originally stuck in the grill. It's actually a sponge to stop it rattling when you're going along. And then we've got a fridge underneath as well. So a nice, which way does it open? That way. And with a freezer compartment, and there's even a bottle of Prosecco in there. Ooh, quite fancy that. More red wine time of year, I think. And then into the cockpit area, a very nice table. I do like the way Sealine do their tables with the cup holders and a wine bottle holder in the middle, so a slightly bigger one. And then you've got the seating all around. There is space underneath there for a life raft, as well as there's storage underneath the seating under here. Sealine like to hide their battery switches, so when you first get on a Sealine, you'll spend all day trying to find out where they are. If someone doesn't tell you, they're actually hidden behind here. So secret place and trip switches as well, quite handy. But if you don't know they're there, you'll spend all day looking for them. That's from experience. And then we've got storage under here, but it's double access, so it's also accessible this way. And it does actually have a life raft in here as well. I'm not sure if it's in the inventory, and I'm not sure of the service life on it, so we'll say it's not included and it's out of service for the purposes of the video, but it's to decide what he's leaving and what he's taking at the moment. The helm seat has a bolster so you can stand here. It doesn't really do anything. What's that? Anyways. Oh, okay, that's so you pull that and it slides backwards and forwards. So it's kind of a, there you go. So I'm just figuring things as we go. Actually, while I'm here, it is actually a nice position, double helm, with the additional lounger on this side, of course, which you can actually go either way, because it's a seat back that way and a seat back facing forward, as well as it's got a seat back on the back. So it's two seats, also forward facing and rear facing lounger, and the seating here. And Sealine do this sort of thing very well, which is the socialness of it all. And then we're up here at the helm. The helm's got a nice footrest. Also you can see it's got the teak underneath as well. Nice light steering. This is, we'll talk about the engines in a minute, but it's twin diesel engines, Volvo Ds, and I'll show you a bit more detail when we go in the engine room. But very nicely laid out controls, and of course we've got the chart plotter, which you can see has the camera, and you can see it just shows the width of the bathing platform, which is very nice. So if you are mooring, you can see exactly how far away you are. But it also has, so it's touchscreen, but it also has AIS, which are the targets you can see here. You can see it just loading up, so it's got AIS and of course radar as well. And this has a bow thruster, as well as it's just got a stern thruster. So the stern thruster helps to aid just that last bit of manoeuvring. It has stern drives, this boat, as well. So the stern drives do that, but if you do literally want to go sideways, then the stern thruster will help. They're not always the most efficient. The bow thruster is much more powerful than the stern thruster, but the stern thruster does work, and it is a nice addition when you need it. It also has trim tabs as well. As well as, obviously, you've got all your array of switches here. Controls for the lights and everything as well are all up here. So all the 12-volt controls are here. The actual switches down below are all for the 240-volt system. So everything 12-volt operates from up here. But we do have demisters. So this was steamed up when I got on the boat, and I've had the demisters on now for about 10 minutes. And slightly longer, and you can see that the helm now is very clear. So in the winter, even though it's damp and it's cold and there's a big temperature difference, it's actually demisted very nicely, and the visibility with these big screens is very good, with the rear camera as well, and you can got good access with these large windows to see the side decks. So all in all, it's a very, very nice helm position. The engines have done, let's just have a look, I think it was 5 578. So 578 hours on the engine, and for a 13-year-old boat, that is quite low actually. I expect it to be around the sort of 5 to 700, 800 mark. So it's bang on where it should be, if not a bit on the low side. We also have autopilot, which is nice. So we've got autopilot on here. Autopilot? Call it cruise control, and then there is a bit of storage up here as well. As we go down into the saloon, and this starts to give you the SC38 sort of idea of a bit more space. This saloon is a very nice size indeed, very good headroom. As you know, I'm 6 foot tall, and I've got a good couple of inches above my head all the way around this room, in the saloon down here. An additional seating area. Down here, so an additional seating area, which is very comfortable. And these nice lights, but also we've got the blinds as well that drop down to give you privacy, but 2 opening hatches if you need to aerate. And again, like I said, this has air conditioning as well as obviously we've got this great skylight. So this skylight just gives fantastic light, and this is inside the cockpit, so it's within the windscreen. So you see the windscreen. So when it rains, it doesn't rain on here. So this light doesn't ever get noisy, but we can close it off. If we wanted to blacken it off, we can, and it just gives you an idea. Then we've got this low lighting above the cupboards, and then obviously we've got the additional lights as well that we have in here. So in the evening it's get quite cozy. The Sealine has a system called the Seaplex system. So we can see we've got all these touch buttons for the lighting. So they've got dimmers, so we can put them up and down, as well as we've got a main control panel. Now, like I said, all the 12-volt system has the main switches up there, but we can do additional 12-volt things just off this Seaplex system. If I go on to there's nice little touches as well. It says there's welcome aboard Sealine SC38. We can turn the water on and off from up here, so it shows freshwater tanks. So it shows you the water tanks in here. It also shows you things like the freshwater black waste and grey waste. So believe it or not, this has, which is quite unusual for a boat in the UK, it has a grey water tank. So all your sink water drains into the grey water tank. It was an option that was required in the country it was in. So it has that under the floor here, but it also has a black water tank for where the toilet goes into as well. So it's got the 2 tanks. Both can be pumped out as well into the sea if need be, and there's a diverter valve to choose which one you want to do. So it is nice to have the thought that if you do go inland with the boat or to another country that needs it, it's got it. Okay, so it's not something you have to add. There's a neat little touch on here. I like the little bit. I like that. And then we'll pan round and have a look at the galley area. So we've got a twin electric hob. Of course, this can be run from the generator, so again it can be used at sea or not. We have a oven down here as well, which is it's more of a microwave and grill. So it doesn't have, I don't think it's an oven facility as well. It looks like it's just a microwave and grill. Again, can be used by the generator. And then we have another slightly larger fridge with freezer compartment, both in nice condition, I'd add as well. Both the fridges are in nice condition. And then we have places, just nice storage areas. What's under here? Somewhere to put your cutlery. I do like the fact they've actually made all these inserts, so you've only got a limited amount of cutlery you can have in there, but it's very nice. And then what else do they do? We've got the drawer at the bottom, but they've sectioned it out, and there are actually 2 chopping boards as well here. But I will go, I don't normally go through the cupboards, but I will do because they're actually quite clever. If we go into here, this is the glass compartment. So you can see in here there's places to hang your glasses, and then bottles at the back. Also, let me just pick the right one. In here as well, there's glasses can go in here as well, and they're all cut out into the wood. That's just a normal cupboard. That's just a normal cupboard. There is one more that's quite enough. I think it's this one. So when you want to put your there you go, this is the one. So you can put things in here like plates, but when you section where you want the plates to be, you can actually move the pegs around into different holes, so you can actually arrange that as you want to suit your own crockery, which is quite a nice idea. I've seen it done before, but it's the first time I've seen it on the Sealine, although we haven't done an SC38 before. Let me just drop that down for a sec. And you can see it's got a similar layout here, so you can do it in here as well, so you can move the pegs around to either side. You've got the 240 volt system here where you can turn off and on the generator, and then as you can see it's just all your 240 stuff. So the fridges will switch from 240 to 12 volt automatically, and then you've got your air conditioning switches as well. So this has an Eberspacher diesel heater, a programmable one, as well as if I turn that on, you can see it's got the aircon unit as well, which you can set the temperature if you want to. So we've got the best of both worlds really. Plenty of 240 sockets around, but what I wanted to do actually is show you into the forward cabin. So the forward cabin has got the island bed, and you can see it's it's very much decluttered now, but you can get a good idea of the bed size. So I'm like right to the headboard. As I say, I'm 6 foot, so it's a good size. It's got an air conditioning unit up here as well, so I can control it from here, as well as obviously there's a big TV there as well. That TV, there is an additional TV in the galley area. Drop the mic. I'll make something else. Right. Okay. A big wardrobe space. I think there's another one on the other side. If there is. Now, Sealines are the sort of boat you just keep finding storage spaces and little cubby holes, which are very useful. So I'll try and pick out all the ones I can. It's nice to have a mirror under here as well, and then just more storage cupboards, high level cupboards, which is always nice to have. Normally there's something goes on under here. Yep, so you've got storage under here as well. This hole under here is access to the diverter valve for the waste tanks, but then I've got 2 more doors in here, okay, one to here and one to here, so I'll show you through this way. So this one is the heads. As you can see, it's got electric toilet, so electric flush, fresh water, as I found out, fresh water flush toilet into the holding tank, so very nice heating vent in here as well, and then the sink, and then lots of storage in the wall there as well. But apart from that, quite a standard layout. But of course you go, well, where am I going to shower? You know, it's normally that's all you get. But on this we get our own full-size shower cubicle, so a room you can completely get wet and not worry, because you're not getting the sink wet, the toilet wet, and you can be separate. So if someone needs to use the facilities while you're having a shower, you can it's very easy. A very nice room. I do like that Sealine do this. They do that as a second heads option as well, but most people go for the separate shower, because on a boat of this size, it just makes much more sense. In here, there is an additional TV. So you've got the big TV in there that you can bring out and stick on here if you want to watch a big TV, but apart from that, it's got this small one. It does work, but it's also connected to the satellite system. There you go, got CBeebies on. And then your stereo system as well. So that is all neatly hidden away if you want it, but if you want a big TV, you can get it out and stick it on there, no problem. Let's switch through into the back. So again, what Sealine do well is space. So this rear cabin actually has, believe it or not, has a wardrobe in here, another vanity area, and this one actually has a mirror behind, a full mirror. Again, straw storage, another heating outlet, electric sockets, is nice. But then it's got a bed which doubles as a settee. Also, we've got the blind, which, how do you lift that? Go towards you. So towards me. That's it. Oh, okay, well done. Thank you. And then you've got the blind that lifts up with an opening hatch here, but a nice bit of light that comes in. And this is how full size is this? Actually, yeah, it's a 6 foot bed. And then we've got another big bed, and then a third bed. So you've actually got 3 beds in here, if you wish. And also we've got the option of infilling this section as well, so it can be a big double bed. So we can make this a one big double bed. So if you do have guests, this is a great other 2 adult room. And if you have kids, it's a great other 3 bed room. So absolutely fantastic options, as well as the saloon area can also be converted into an additional bed as well. So there's loads of sleeping options, so loads of options for space on here. And then there's another window down the end. What's this? Must be another cupboard. Another cupboard for storage. And they just plant storage everywhere on here. So it's very, very good. Do you want to have a look in there? So that's your grey water tank. So you can see all the sink drains into it. And then this is your black water tank. There. And then in here, actually I'll show you, this is quite interesting. So you do everything from here basically when you want to pump them out. So you open this one up. So you've got its own battery. So there's a diverter here. So you can, it's on black at the moment, or you can just divert it to grey. There's also a battery switch, and then there's another switch so you can turn it on. I'll just turn the seacock off. Seacock's in very good condition, I've noticed as well. So it does look like it's had attention in that department as well. There's quite a neat system. Quite easy to use. And as you can see, this is on a, you can drop this down to then fit onto where you want it to. Let me just turn the, let's get the heating back on again. So it's hour, right. And then let's pop back up, and I think we're about there. I just want to show you in the engine room. I'd like Andrew to hold this up. It's going to get noisy in here because I've got the generator running. So hopefully you'll still be able to hear me. But it's fitted with it's quite a nice engine space, and we're fitted with 2 Volvo Penta D4 300 engines. And then we have a battery charger over there, but again you can see it's a very good space. And then we have the generator fitted over here. The generator is done 174 hours, and again you can see the seacocks, one for the generator and one for the aircon unit down here as well. Everything's quite easy to hand for servicing wise. We've got the dipsticks, topping up the coolant, and we can get at everything, which is nice. Loads of room between the engines, and Sealine do put this second skin underneath, so actually you can keep it pristine down here by giving it a good wipe around, so it's smooth gel coat, so you can keep an eye on everything. And then there's even a ladder, look, which is quite nice as well. Pop back up. Well, one other thing we want to show you, of course, is this fantastic roof. Being it's a soft top roof as opposed to like a solid GRP, it actually has this inner lining which helps with sound deadening. And the problem with a normal hardtop, you see the engines are running, it can get very noisy inside, but this actually stops the resonating, so it's actually very quiet inside compared to other hardtop boats because of that. So it's a real plus. Now this is a manual roof, and I really like manual roofs only because electric mechanisms over the years can have problems and can be a real issue, but this is a very easy roof to open. Look at that, and now it's a completely open boat. Absolutely fantastic. I really like the way this opens so simply and easily. You can really appreciate now with the sides down, it just feels like an open boat with a radar arch. Really, really nice. So let me close it back. I can do it with one hand, look, so very easy. And then you simply latch it. And you simply just latch it shut. And then it's all back enclosed and waterproofed again. Really good addition that is. Come and see this boat for sale at parker-adams.co.uk if you want to know how much it is. Drop us a line. Come and see all of other boats we have for sale. But I think for now, unless we can think of anything else, I think that'll do for this walkthrough tour. So thanks again and see you on the next one.